This week in Ken's Tech Lab, we're at the 6th part of this PRUSA build, the MK4 kit. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the bench. This week is the 6th part of our PRUSA build, and this week we're going to actually start off with the love board part preparation. And to give you an update, we're getting closer to be able to get some painting done, as I've gotten the space put together pretty good. It just needs a little bit more, like a table like the ones that I use here on the build bench, to have the spray booth and other things put on there. So I'm going to make some adjustments to the camera and put it on the bench, and we'll get started. All right, everybody, welcome back to the bench. Here we go. Like I said, we'll be working on the love board. That's where we left off last time because we kind of ran out of time to get this part completed. And this one's going to require, there's another complete board with connections. Let me go grab that. All right, here we go. It's right there. And we got the electronics box. And this is how it comes. And inside here will be the LCD, the love board that we'll be using, hot end fans, the print fan, and the ESP Wi-Fi module that comes with the MK4. So let's open this up. All right, there's the fans, and I bet this right here is a love board. We have the metal piece right here that we can tap and make sure there's no static. This actually does not come in a static proof bag, it comes in a bubble wrap bag. Matter of fact, the tape wasn't even taped on it. So, what does this say? PRUSA. And there it is, love board. With a little, if you see that right there, with a picture of a heart for love board. That's pretty good detail, actually. All right, let's see what else we need. We need the extruder main cable. I don't think that was part of this pack. So let me go find the extruder main cable, which is right here on our fingertips. This is the Z-axis bag that we've been working off of last time. This one had the rubber pads in it, if you remember. And let's see what we have in here. That is a nice bundle of wires. Let's see what else is in this bundle of wires. Okay. We have two ends on it. One's going to go into the main board side, and one side into the love board. This is a lot better than the original PRUSA MK3, 3 Plus, 3S, or 3 Plus S, and where you had individual wires all running to the board. And since the loom is in here, it's going to make us go ahead and have to put it into that ourselves. All right, what else do we need? We need one lonely M3x6 screw. M3x6 or smaller. Not as big as M3x10. M3x6. There we go. We need one of these. Hope everybody can see okay here. There's a screw. I can see that it is visible right there. Okay. Take the end of the extruder main cable without the white label. Okay. So this side right here does have the white label. It looks like a QR code. And the other side does not. Move the X-axis assembly to the center of the Z-axis height. Well, we're almost there. So down just a hair. I guess it's more than a hair. Okay, that looks about centered. Also puts it in better view for the camera. And make sure that you put this in the center, which is. Okay, we're going to run this part of the cable without the white sticker through the, I'm throwing it through the back because I can see the front, over the belt. Okay, you're going to see a picture below with that, and down. Okay, from the back of the printer, guide the extruder main cable to the front of the printer through the gap between the belt and the upper rod. Okay, that's what we just did to the side right here. Okay, what's next? Divide the twisted wires and straight cables from each other. Okay. All right, here are the twisted wires, and here are the straight cables. Right there. Okay, what do you want now? First, guide the straight cables through the channel in the X carriage. Okay. First, take the wires. So on the top right here, I guess you can see this. It's hard because of the color. You can see it better with my finger here. There's a channel right here, and what we're going to do is run these wires into that channel, and it really doesn't tell you how much to leave available out. Okay, and the channel goes all the way back, as you can see the back of it right here. So we got them all in there nicely. Okay. First, guide the straight cables through the channel in the X carriage. Then guide the twisted cables through the channel. Okay. So we want to make sure that it's the same length, right, as the other ones. And so what I'm going to do is take this probably once you get the twisted in there, it'll be harder to get the non-twisted in there, right? Okay. Wires are never easy. They're the hardest thing to ever, because they don't want to run right because they've been bundled up into a certain way. It's gonna go. Yay. All right. Now let's see. Bring more in. See, now it's gonna pull it out. Let's get these the same length. One of the blacks. Figure that out in a few minutes. And then, wow, I lost the one of the things. I lost the out of the, put this back over like this so we can get to that part. Now it isn't like that I didn't push this all the way down before. It's that we don't have a back on this carriage yet to hold it from popping off of the, okay, it's back on. We still have our wires in place. Everything is good. Good. All right. Put this back in the center. Excellent. You know what they say? One step forward, two steps back. I don't know where this wire was. It's hiding on me. All right. Okay, we got him in the channel. Got this one in the channel. Okay, now we're getting someplace. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring these wires down a lot more, right? And keep the regular wires on their side. Even if I have to pull this back out, okay, to keep those wires nice and straight. They're going to go on that side, and then there's another place here for these, for this wire. Do, even that they're separated from the two and they're actually in two different little slots here, they're still in the same harness. Okay, so what it wants us to do now is take the lug board, this, and put that in this direction, plug in the love board, and it snaps in. Okay, and he said leave it at least extended 2 centimeters. So now it wants us to attach the love board to the back of the X carriage and secure it with an M3x6 screw. Okay. So I'm going to have to turn this around. And now you'll get the front of it. We have one screw hole and one nut there, so it actually works out very well. We have our M3x6, and what we're going to do is match it up. Okay, we have our love board attached. Now what it wants. It wants to make sure, so it wants a minimal loop on the other side to make sure, see if I can bring this down a little bit more. Okay, to make sure that the parts don't get caught on other things. Whether we're going to be pulling more wires in here or what, but it's very tight. And it looks like there's places for 3, 5, 6 connectors that have not been filled. 7 connectors. All right. That looks as good as theirs. So we'll go with that. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So to let you know what happened is I had to cut this. Now it's the next day. Actually, the first part of this from this point I did yesterday, and the website for PRUSA went offline, which took my instructions with it, and I could not continue the build. I went to the next page and, well, there was nothing there to look at, so I waited for an hour or so for it to come back, and never did, so I kind of gave up yesterday and went on to do other things. And now today we're back at it, continuing right from where we left off. And for you it's immediate next cut, but for me it was the next day. So let's go on. What we did was we put the wires through and put the love board on. Made sure that the twisted wires were on the left side of the love board, showing. We plugged it in, showed you how the wires should look. And now it wants us to put together the extruder main cable parts preparation, and that's going to be 2 black plastic pieces. And they're called the X carriage cable holder. And then there's an X carriage cable cover. So what it says here is it wants just the holder part, and the holder part is the one with the hole through the center of it. So that's the part we're going to get, but I will also get out the cover because I'm sure that we'll be touching that and using it soon. All right. So let's see if I can get this in the shot. This has the hole in it right there. And this is the piece we're going to need. I'm sure that we're going to be tying these wires and getting them down to the board sooner or later. And it wants one M3 by 40 screw, so that's a pretty long screw. Let's see what we have for an M3 by 40. Probably the one or two. No, that's M3 by 25, so it's actually longer than this one, and this one's pretty long. M3 by 40, okay, 3 pieces. Okay, we have the one M3 by 40 screw right there. Right over the cover, put the package back. Alright, so what it wants is this thing starts out skinny. This thing starts out skinny and then gets wider as it goes back. So it wants us to start on the skinny part, and you can actually tell because there's an indent right there where it's going to hide the screw head through it. And it wants us just to put the screw right through there, put it through, and you have a little bit sticking out. Okay. On the back side of the love board, what it wants is for us to screw this in, and I'm going to have to turn this, well, I can see the back end of this. Turn it around. Make sure that we're not pinching any of the wires. Okay, on the back of this we have the wires coming out. Make sure they're going to sit right in this hole right here. And right down below this hole is the screw for this, and this is going to go with the side up, so you're going to run the wires across the middle like a galley right here. We'll be able to run the wires, so we're going to put it in like this, make sure we have the right size in here. Take it, not pinch the wires. Okay, that didn't feel like it was going in anywhere. So let's see if we're really going to get it in by trying the screw by itself, or am I just wasting time? Remember, not all the time you try to make the screws go in and then they're not centered, and we actually have to go in there and move them by hand. So that's what I gotta do now. Okay. Once I get the screw in there, okay, but we don't want to script the screw. Where's my phone? And that screw looks like it's almost perfectly in there, but almost only counts in horseshoes. Okay. Yeah, I think that did it. All right. Okay, now we can put it through there. And use the, let's see if we can get it to go in this time. Yeah, that worked. All right, we have the, now we have, what is this called again? This is called the X carriage cable holder. We have it fully attached, nice and tight. And hopefully sooner or later we're going to actually cover this last bearing that's sitting out there with nothing on the back to hold it in, so it wants to pop out all the time. Okay, so the warning on here is do not pinch any wire of the extruder main cable. Yeah, or you'd be ordering a new one. So we know that already. Okay, we go right into another parts preparation. So the X carriage back, and I believe this is what's going to be covering the bearing that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. X carriage back rubber pad 20 by 10 by 1. Okay. Remember those pads. Oh, found it. So this does come with one rubber pad 20 by 10 by 1. All right, we found the package that this came in. With the camera at the position, it's really hard to show all this, but it's in the Z-axis bag. And down there at the bottom, okay, so we have the rubber pad. We also need the X carriage back, which is going to be a plastic part. That's the Wi-Fi cover, spool holder. This looks like it. Love board cover right. This is X carriage back. X carriage back. Okay. All right, we have the X carriage back. All right, what is next on the list? It's going to be M3 by 18 screws times 2. M3 by 18. I think I just had those in my hand a few seconds ago. No, that was the M3 by 25 when we were looking for the M3 by 40. M3 by 18, 2. All right, we have those. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit. But then the whole frame's in the way. All right. Two of these. And one M3 by 10. We keep those readily available in front just for everything requires these screws. These are the most popular of the build. Right. Okay, we got 3 screws and 1 nylon 3 by 555 millimeter times 1. I believe I know where that is. No, it's not that one. It's the Y extruder. There we go. M3 by 555. All right, and the only thing that is basically is a very thick piece of nylon. All right. All right, it says covering the X carriage, inserting the nylon filament. Okay. Place the rubber pad into the rectangular pocket in the X carriage back. So let's find let's put it down since we'll need this right now. So there's the X carriage back. And right here, same place with the opening, the little slit opening that they have right there, is the little square opening that will allow us to put the rubber. It just slips right in there. Once you push it down, and we'll slide it a little bit so it's centered, and we have it in there. Okay. So, like last time, the little slit is now gone. You can see with the light bouncing off of it right there. Right there. Okay. After the nylon filament holds in the X carriage, check that it inclines upwards. So on the back, they want this to go in a upwards fashion, all the way up and over. And there's a little notch. Looks like that this is going to fit in. At least I'm hoping that this notch is for this. I would think that it would be for this. Okay, I'm trying to make the picture bigger so I can see it. I might have to get a pair of needle nose on there to slide it in there. We don't want to hurt the cable, so I'll kind of put them over. Let's see if we can make sure that there's nothing blocking this hole. That's what it needed, a little bit of force. So what it's supposed to be is right in the center of that. There we go. Now it went in. Good. And it's curved up, just like the important instructions said on it. Let's see if I can get this to a point to show all of this. Okay. Oh. So coming out of the back, right here, okay, the wires are all right here. This slides into a little hole that's right on the side of it, and then it curves up. And that was the most important part of this instructions, is make sure that it's curving up. If not, it's going to be in the way when we go printing. Okay, I'm going to turn it back toward me. Make sure we don't sit on the wires. Excellent. And again, make sure that it is going up. Okay. Attaching the X cover back. Before we cover the back of the X carriage, make sure that the upper bearing is in the pocket inside the X carriage, of course, and the marking is facing you. That marking that we did a long time ago, and make sure that the marking is facing you so the bearing is in the right. Okay, we just made sure that is happening. And make sure that the nylon filament is pointing upwards. Place the X carriage back on the X carriage and arrange the main cable wires like in the picture. So you guys are going to see the picture down there. And I'm going to make it bigger so I can see it on here. And it looks like that they're all going to come right in here and right out. And the X back. Goes. I believe just like that. Okay. They have one blue, two yellow circles, as you see in the picture, that are surrounding, or each one of the screws that are going to go in there. That's the two sizes. So we have the one, what is that? M3 by 10, and then the M3 by 18. So we're going to put those in the correct holes. Now I'm actually not going to tighten them, just like all the rest of them. It's better just to leave them a little bit loose, and then we can deal with tightening them in a little bit. Okay, and then on the top left is the single, which I believe is going through the lug board too. Now let's go back to the instructions. The nylon filament is pointing upwards. Place the X carriage back on it, just like in the picture. Okay, which they are. Be careful, no wires must be pinched. Secure the carriage back with the two M3 by 18 screws. Insert the M3 by 10 screw into the upper hole in the X carriage back. Okay. It doesn't say to tighten it all the way or to tighten it all the way, so what I'm going to do, I don't have this one down. This one I believe. There. Now these things don't need to be over tightened. Okay. And secure. Okay, we went through both pictures there. That's all secured. Okay, guiding the main cable part preparation. Oh, this is the fun part. Not. So for the following steps, please prepare the sleeves. I remember these on the MK3. They were not fun then, and I'm sure they're not going to be fun now. Alright, so we have two sleeves. One is longer than the other and a little bit thicker. It wants us to the 8 by 520, which is the longest of the two. So it says there's 3, but I only have 2 in this package, and then there's one for the Y carriage and heat bed, which I don't think is part of this one. Alright, so it wants us to put the zip ties through the X carriage cable holder and wrap the extruder main cable and the nylon filament near the X carriage with the textile sleeve. Keep a 1 cm/inch gap between the sleeve and the X carriage. So it wants us to leave a little bit of a thing, but it wants all the wires in there. So we're going to leave a little one out here. And we're going to get 2, I keep them in the back, the pack of zip ties they gave us. So we have 2 zip ties that are going to go inside here and just sit there for right now. So they're going to go down and through, making sure that you have the correct orientation. So we're just really just getting them ready, and this is the same thing we did with the buddy board, and have the 3 ties already in the case before we're ready for it. So we're going to put these in. Okay. This stuff is always so hard to get wires to be manipulated the way that you want them to, because they have their own mind to manipulate the way that they want to. So we're going to start the wrap. And this is going to take me a little while. I'll probably cut out some of this and we'll come back when I get this thing wrapped up. So if I need to make a few choice words, I can while I'm putting this on here. Alright, I think I have it all the way on there. And I have just the 1 millimeter sticking out like it asks. Okay, when I get the 1 millimeter out, they want us to actually close off the zip tie. So we'll take this and we're going to put the zip tie actually over on the side, not to the top. We have to make sure that the wires don't get pulled out. Okay. So I'm going to move the camera up a little bit. Okay, so the top of it right here, turn it around. So this is the wires that came out of the love board, and there is the end of the it's like a support, and they wanted it to go up because it's going to go up and probably into the box over here, and they wanted to make sure that these zip ties are in, and it's all nice and tight, which it is. So we've completed that step. And what I'll do is snip off the zip tie ends. All right. Well, that was fun, and now we don't have to worry about the love board coming off of the rails here with the bearing, and we can continue. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, it wants me to wrap this around and come underneath for some reason. Okay, so it wants it to come out, go up, come around, so it's up in the air, and then come down on the box. I think that's what it's basically saying to me. Okay. So what it wants is to wrap it while we're holding it in an upwards I think what this does is tightens the wires all down inside this wrap. Okay. That's done. Attach the external cable holder. So, I believe that is the next parts in here. And again, there's two parts. You have the cable holder, which is right here. Right here. And they said don't grab the cable cover, or cable holder part B, which I would call that just a cable cover. I'll just get them both out, and that's another done bag. So the green one is the 2, and this is the purple one. Okay, purple is B and green is A. What else do we want? We want the zip tie 1. Okay, we have 1 zip tie. We need 2 M3x18s, and we use those in the last one. 3x18, we need 2 of these. All right. We need 2 M3x10s. That's in our normal bag that we're holding on to, because it has the most screws of all of them. Two of them out. And this wants the 300 millimeters 5, which is the other one that I said that we would be using right here. And let's see what we're doing with this. Oh, we also need M3NS nuts. That is the square nut. This bag is done. There's the hex nuts. I try to keep everything kind of close. But once you start working into all these different parts, you start losing track of them. There it is. All right. Can't lose these. All right, 2 of those. Okay, we should have everything we need. Ah, I see what this is for. So this is going to be for the motor, the X motor, right here on the side here, and we have the wire that's coming out there. And that's what this is going to be. They still say that there's one more of those. And I know this is for the Y carriage. This one is the 380 nylon, which is not even in the listing here. Now I'm going to take them for their word that there are 3 of these holders for the wire, and I believe this is the correct one. It's skinny, and maybe they've changed the directions since they put that out, and there is only, I mean there should be only 2 here because the other motor goes down underneath for the Y-axis. So I don't think there is another one. Okay, we're going to take it at that value. Okay, I'm going to turn this a little sideways here so I can see this wire that I'm dealing with right here. So again, I don't know if I'll be taking this out of the video due to the fact that these things are a pain. Yeah, that's the right one. They're both open now. This should be a little easier since it doesn't have as many wires attached to it. But they're never easy. Maybe easier, but not easy. I wish there was a little mechanism they would make to widen this out to full width, and then you can deal with putting the wire in it, then let it snap back after it. But that's probably too complicated just for a single build like this. I guess that's why some printers are now made with wired chains, because they do better tension on the wire than this stuff. It's all in. Not done, but it's all in. So you always have 2 sides to it. You can either make sure that one side is in and all the wires are under it. I'll tell you one thing, this stuff is loose on these wires. I like to be able to put a couple zip ties around it. I'm also going to try to pull it from the other side. There we go. Excellent. So with this one, right there, fully encased into the wires here. Alright, it wants you to insert 2 M3NS nuts all the way into the X cable holder A. So, right here, where's the camera? Right there. There's 2 places, one here and one here, that it wants those to be pushed into. And we're going to do that right now. Okay, there's one. We take our needle nose, push them in, and make sure that the hole is clear. Okay, do it again on the other side. Okay. And to test it, if you want to beforehand, you can take the screws, as we're losing them underneath the frame here, and put the screws through to test where you just put them in. And that's in fine. And the other side. And that's in nice and fine. Excellent. Alright, now some fun parts. Alright, so what it wants us to do is on the same piece that we just put the 2 hex nuts in, well, not hex nuts, but square nuts. They want us to put the end of this nylon that was in here into the hole trying to get it oriented the way that they want it. Okay. And that's how I have it exactly like the picture is. So they want it in there with the nylon going in the hole to hold it. Guide the extruder main cable freely from the printer. Do not twist or rotate it. So they want this now just to be going straight across into the pocket where all the cables are going to be. And then they want the other one, the motor cable, to go on the other side. Crossing over it, and then going in there, and that. So over it, not under it. Okay, which I did. And they want this to be out and just have the ending in there, so be kind of in the same place. Okay. And cross over with this wire inside. And kind of push them down in there so they're not going to get squished in between all this. Okay, you better give me something to cover up with. All right, and now we're going to take the cover and we're going to put the 2 screws in it, 2 M3 by 18. I need to at least get one of these started because I can't let this go. Okay. That was a thing, wasn't it? Okay. I only got out 1 M3 by 18. Should have got out 2. I got out 2 M3 by 10s. Okay. So the other side in. I can see right now where that one zip tie is going to go. And why is this? There we go. Letting go of these things when we're trying to hold it in is a little buggy. Especially when it wants to go and trick it now. Try this again. I think we got it. Yeah. All right. So, can you see that under there? Both wires are coming in. This one's crossing on the outside, going in, like I said on the instructions. And this one is going to be coming up, over, and down. Okay, what do we want now? We did that. And of course, like I said, they want one zip tie around here. So this has a little, you can see that groove all the way around it, and that's where the zip tie is going to come in. And we're going to put that around here. Alright, so I'm actually going to hold it closed with my hand, get a little bit more on it, and there we go. So nice and tight. Take our cutters and cut the end off. There we go. there all together, nice and solid. Hope I don't have to go very far with this one wire, because there's just enough. It just goes from there to here once this goes in. Alright, assembling the X cable holder. So it wants to actually put all this in the box now. So we're going to run the wires into the box and the short wire into the box. And that fits right on top of the box. Nice and snug. Let's see what kind of... So we got this in there. It's in the right orientation. And put the two M3x10 screws in the top. And we should be pretty well done with this part. I don't think that that's the right location. I think that's the right location. Okay, not all the way down, so we can move it a little bit. We have to. And this one went in. Don't have to over tighten these. This is just holding the plastic down, the retainers. And there, we get gummies. So, now I left the one part running, which I'll be cutting out, which is the, me putting the big one in the tie. Probably, if not, this is running about an hour just on this one part. Let's show you the final results here. So there's the wires that are going to be going into the buddy board, and this is the one going into the axis, and the other one wraps up and around, and then it goes into the love board. Nice, huh? All works out when you follow the instructions. All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions. That will really help the channel. And hit the notification button if you want to see more of this. And don't forget to let your friends know. That will really help if we can get more people into watching this stuff. If you'd like to have longer series of the build, let me know. Or is this too long? I haven't seen any comments on the build yet, but please do that. And like always, with Ken's Tech Lab, stay awesome.